So the Wigan players out for the Premiership playoff match. Henderson Gill there had some problems with injury this season, now aiming to prove that he's back on form. Well, a packed Central Park Stadium this afternoon. I would estimate some 15,000 fans, and many of these people will be at Wembley next week for that Challenge Cup final against Halifax. Warrington and David Lyon limbering up. They'll start as underdogs for this game, but that won't bother them. They haven't lost in Central Park, would you believe, for over 2 seasons. And a place in the long run in the Premiership final at Old Trafford at stake. So everything to play for this afternoon. Just to run through the teams: Warrington, fullback David Lyon, Joe Lepati, Paul Cullen, Barry Peters, Mark Forster, John Woods, Martin Crompton, Neil Harmon, Mark Roskell, Mark Roberts, Gary Sanderson, Mike Gregory, Billy McGinty, and subs Brian Johnson and John Thursfield for Wigan. Joe Lydon at full-back, Henderson Gill, Jed Byrne, Dean Bell. Mark Preston proved quite a sensation since signing for the final at Rugby Union. Standoff Sean Edwards, scrum half Andy Gregory. Of course, Warrington will know him well. Brian Case at prop, Nicky Kiss, Adrian Shelford making up the front row, Ian Potter and Andy Goodway in the second row, Ellery Hanley at loose forward, subs Ian Lucas and Sean Wayne. Referee this afternoon, Mr. Robin Whitfield. So Andy Gregory prepares to get this game underway. And away we go. The first touch of the afternoon will be for Joe Lepati. Moving forward, but snubbed out by the Wigan tacklers. Gregory. Something to prove as well this afternoon, Mike Gregory, of course, a Wigan lad. Signed for Warrington from Wigan St Pat's, so he'll be hoping to put one over on his hometown club. A good kick for touch. So Warrington immediately relieving the pressure from their own line and making their first foray into the Wigan territory. Of course, Wigan playing in that Wembley final next week, but their coach Graham Lowe hasn't taken the soft option by any stretch of the imagination. He's named the strongest side he has available. That includes Ellery Hanley. He finds himself at the centre of a little bother there. Tempers flaring a little, but Mr. Whitfield soon sorts the matter out. And sorts Nicky Kiss out as well. I don't know what started that, but there were certainly several Warrington players and several Wigan players at odds. And Mr. Whitfield deciding that Wigan were the team in the wrong. So Lyon puts the kick into touch. Warrington, the first attack of the afternoon. Moving inside the Wigan 25. Quick tap by Roskell. Mark Roberts stopped in his tracks. Crompton. John Woods. And Wigan caught offside right in front of their own sticks. And surely this will be the first 2 points of the afternoon. So John Woods decides to kick for goal. Well, Mr. Whitfield immediately stamping his authority on this game, taking no nonsense in the lineups as Woods puts the goal over. So 2 minutes gone and Warrington into a 2-0 lead. Quick kick off, Lydon bangs it down the field. Well, taken by Lyon. He looked to have stepped behind his own line. The Wigan fans certainly aren't happy about it, but the referee waves play on. Warrington again taking the ball away from their own line. It's Roberts again, dumped to the ground. Well, a chance for Wigan to equalise. Mark Roberts swinging out at the Wigan player. After the play, the ball, Mike Gregory says one word too often. And it's a penalty to Wigan, 10 yards closer to the goals. So, mistake by Warrington. And now Wigan have the chance to put themselves back level. Andy Gregory gives the ball to Joe Lydon. Joe Lydon immediately hands it back, and so Gregory, unusually, handed the responsibility of kicking for goal. He's kicked 1 or 2 this season, but Wigan fans would recognise Joe Lydon as the more established goal kicker. Nevertheless, it's under the posts, and Gregory will be confident of putting this one over. 4 minutes gone. Really is a sight to see, that packed Kop end, as Gregory puts it over straight into the midst of all those spectators, and it's 2 points each. So penalties the order of the day so far. Both scores coming from them. Sean Woods prepares to restart the match. Short kick, trying to catch Wigan out. Edwards scampering back. A difficult bounce for Edwards, but he manages to fall on the ball. Hanley, acting halfback. And again, Warrington caught offside. Again, the referee's whistle goes. Puts his arm aloft. So rather stopping and starting this game in the opening few minutes. No real chances yet of any flowing rugby league. No doubt that's still to come, though. Edwards, short ball. Andrew Goodway driving it forward. Shelford. Well, Shelford in line for a Wembley place next week. Dream come true for him. Only his first season at Central Park. And here he is, just 6 days away from Wembley, as Warrington give away another penalty. Again for offside. And so Wigan now have the chance of going 2 points up. Well, again, Joe Lydon strode out towards that kicking position, but again it's Gregory who's landed the responsibility. Didn't mind it the first time though, did he? So shouldn't mind it the second time either. Again, very kickable, this one, right in front of the sticks. And Gregory will be hoping to keep his 100% record on the day. Takes a good look at his target. That's where it's going to go, he says. And that, indeed, is where it does go. The touch judge's flags aloft, and 7 minutes gone, and Wigan 4-2 in the lead. As Woods again brings the ball back to the centre spot to restart. Tries a longer kick this time. Lydon. And stopped by Mike Gregory. Mark Roskell coming in for the second tackle. Brian Case, another ex-Warrington player, of course. Wigan's missed a consistency over the last few seasons. Well, Mark Roberts coming up with the ball. The referee deciding he somehow managed to get that illegally. And so it'll be another penalty to Wigan. There really have been an abundance of penalties so far. Can only hope that this trend fades away as the match goes on. Edwards quickly taken, Lydon again, good way rather. Well, again, a Warrington player at fault, Barry Peters. Referee gives him a good talking to. Well, I've none of that sort of play, he says to him. Punching the tackle. Lydon into touch. Kiss takes himself, quick ball. Warrington defence though, too alert for that little ploy. Edwards, two players running off Shelford. So Wigan now pressing on that Warrington line, looking for the first try. There's Potter. Edwards again, masterminding the attack, takes it himself. And again, well, my goodness. Offside again against the Warrington player. And again, this presents an opportunity for Wigan to kick the goal. Well, it's proving very expensive indeed, this. Right in the opening minutes, Mr. Whitfield showed the players that he was going to penalise offsides at every opportunity, but still, both teams persisting. And Mike Gregory has been given his marching orders. Well, so a double shot for Warrington. Gregory shrugs his shoulders. The referee in no doubt. I think that was for talking, and Gregory has been sent off for 10 minutes. So disappointment for him against his own club. So add to that, Henderson Gill puts over the penalty, and so Wigan now 6 points to 2 in front. So Warrington suddenly find themselves trailing by 4 points. They're a man short. It's their captain as well, Mike Gregory. And so they've got their work cut out. John Woods again restarts. And that's a good kick. Right through the middle of Jed Byrne and Joe Lydon. Wigan forced back under their own sticks for the dropouts. So it should be Warrington's possession and hopefully move back into attack. Long kick now from Lydon. Taken well. Forster. Compton along the line again. And Nicky Kiss steals the ball. Referee plays way on. And Wigan now breaking on the right. Jed Byrne pulled down, and the touch judge has seen something he didn't like. Warrington player summoned. Joe Party told again, it's twice now, told to watch the fist. And so, dare I say it, another penalty to Wigan. I was still to see this game really open out. These two sides can play some very attractive rugby league when they put their minds to it. But with 12 minutes gone, there's plenty of time left yet. This is Case. Three-man party though from Warrington, make sure he doesn't get very far. Edwards, Gregory. Gregory again back into good way. Across towards the line, little chip forward from Sean Edwards. Mark Preston's chasing, it's going to be a race to the line. Well, Warrington can count themselves a little lucky there. The ball bouncing over Mark Preston's head. Dean Bell behind him went over his head too. Warrington managed to clear the line. For the first time in this game, We saw the devastating pace of Mark Preston. But Wigan still on the attack. But the ball won by Warrington, and so huge sighs of relief. Driving it forward, trying to burst out of their own 25. Crompton, all out again. Still trying to break clear of that 25. So important that they don't let Wigan in. Well, they've only got 12 players on the field. If they can hold out for the next 5 or 6 minutes or so, until Captain Mike Gregory comes back, they'll be satisfied, I'm sure. Lydon makes a good run. Potter from acting halfback. Oh, runs into a solid challenge there. 3 Warrington players. Nicky Kiss. Looking for the ball, didn't get it, gets it now though. Edwards. Gregory. Side to Dean Bell. Again, some side tackling. John Woods. Edwards flicks it forward. It's dangerous for Warrington, but well covered. Woods again looking for the gap. Warrington's penalty. Again, an outspoken Wigan player. And 10 yards further down the field. Banged into touch. A good kick, that one. Roskell. Sanderson plays the ball. Neil Harmon trying to break through. Woods inside, good pass to Mark Roberts. Well, just when it looked as though it was clear, the referee deciding it was a forward pass, and scrum down. Well, unlucky there for Warrington. Had the beating of the Wigan defence for the first time, but the pass adjudged forward. So signs at last of this ball being moved around to good effect. Ball coming straight out. Has to be taken again. Over there, he says. Gregory feeds, ball shoots out at the back. Well, Preston forced to scamper back. And John Woods makes sure he doesn't scamper very far forward either. Dean Bell. Again, no, the Warrington tackling absolutely solid so far. Edwards. Grubber kick forward. Well, a difficult one for David Lyon to take. Bounced up into his face. Couldn't keep the ball in play. And so it'll be a scrum down inside the Warrington half. And Wigan again applying the pressure. Again, Mr. Whitfield making sure this scrum is exactly how he likes it before he allows it to be played. Comes out to Gregory. Edwards. Adrian Shelford. Nice flick out there from Shelford, good weight. Not managing to keep hold of it. And again, tempers flaring a little. Paul Cullen, the man adjudged to have stepped out of line. And so, another penalty to Wigan. My goodness. a rash of penalties. And Warrington at the moment, the afflicted side. Well, Mr. Whitfield giving Andy Goodway and Paul Cullen a good talking to, telling them to keep their exchanges a little less heated. Nevertheless, still a penalty for Wigan. And Gregory again to take. Third kick of goal of the afternoon. Been successful with the first two. Again, gives it a good kick, this time wide of the right post. And so Warrington breathe again. 6 points to 2. Just about halfway through this first half. Hanley begins cantering back upfield. Comes in for some rough punishment as well from the Warrington players. Case. Dispatched by Mark Roberts and Gary Sanderson. Andy Gregory. Ball spilled. Party coming inside, looking for possession. Roscoe, Crompton to Roberts. Crompton switches play. John Woods, little jink inside. £40,000 buy from Bradford, John Woods, in the close season. Had a very good season indeed for Warrington. One of those players on the fringe of making it into the tour party. Didn't quite, and he can count himself very unlucky indeed. May not be able to give much assistance to Great Britain and Australia, but he can certainly give plenty of assistance to Warrington at Central Park in this match. And it's the Wire who are back on the attack again. Referee sorts out matters, and it's Warrington in possession. Wood. Sanderson pulled down. The try line in sight. Gregory back on the field from his sin binning. Wigan defends up quickly. Ruskell. Ball out to McGinty. Crompton to Woods. Woods inside to Roberts. Roberts again moves it away. Gary Sanderson stopped almost as soon as he caught that ball. Woods again, Crompton, Woods, the craftsman, Woods chasing through, it's a ball through for Cullen, stopped on the line. Well, so desperately close for Warrington, they've got one tackle left. Away it goes, Roscoe slips with the ball, gets it out to Gregory. Gregory tries to get it out again, it's still on the move. The ball knocked on, and as it's on the sixth tackle, it'll be a changeover. Well, a let-off for Wigan there, because Warrington really well pressing. Perhaps just short of a little imagination as Wigan break. Jed Byrne taking play beyond his own 25. Hanley, dummies to Shelford. Case, inside to Gregory. Gregory, still Gregory. It's a good break for Andy Gregory. To Edwards. High ball from Edwards, Mark Preston. Preston chasing forward, dragged down. It's still moving. Dean Bell. And eventually the Warrington defence breaks it down, but a good move there from Wigan. And once again it puts them on the attack. And Warrington under pressure. Hanley. Edwards chip forward, Preston chasing, but it's going to be too far for him, surely. Yes, bounces into touch. And so a scrum down inside the 25, but a good spell this from Wigan. So Warrington to feed, and they'll be pretty keen to win this ball. Hoping to slow Wigan down a little. And in fact, they get a penalty. Nicky Kiss adjudged to have had his foot up. And David Lyon obliges by putting the ball into touch. So respite for Warrington, they can begin planning their attack again. Roskell. Well, sloppy tackling. Gregory eventually picks it up. Crompton uses to work his way out to the tackle. McGinty gets Rapati away. Rapati spills and Joe Lydon picks up Lydon. Dean Bell. Good tackle that. But here's Lydon again. Shelford crashing onto the ball. And again, the referee's whistle goes for a penalty. He's reaching for his yellow card. Well, is Barry Peters going to have a spell in the sin bin? No, just a warning. Rather vigorous warning, though. Certainly must have caused Barry Peters' heart to flutter when he saw the yellow card coming out of that top pocket. But he lives to see another tackle. Quickly taken by Lydon. It's good way. He drops the ball. And a good way causing the Great Britain Tour selectors some problems this week. Of course, deciding he won't be available to play as Warrington. Very clear. They're saying Goodway not available to play in Australia this season because of business commitments. So that'll be quite a hole to fill for Great Britain. But Warrington now. Minds on matters more immediate. Woods, long ball towards the right. Here's Cullen. Dances inside one tackle. Can't pass dance. Can't dance past Brian Case rather. Well, this time Wigan's turn to err, and so a penalty chance for Warrington. Again, offside. Well, you really would think that these players would have learnt their lesson, but still perhaps anxious to get up and make the tackles. They stray offside. So John Woods waits for the sand to reach him. Already indicated that he's going for goal. Steps to his left, doesn't take much time, kicks, but not accurate enough. Wide of the posts. Big kick forward by Lydon. Forster picks himself off the floor as Warrington continue to move. Gregory almost breaking through the tackle. Forster. Gregory again loses it. And Brian Case drops on for possession. And indeed knocks on as he does so. So a scrum down. Crompton feeds. Comes away at the back of the scrum. John Woods again moves it on. This is Peters. Certainly a very physical game this so far. It's very rough and ready, but fair tackles going in. It's Crompton. Gregory. Well, Shelford seemed to take that a little high. It could have been instinctive. I don't think there was any maliciousness involved. But the referee has his finger in that top pocket and the yellow card comes out. Well, that is absolute tragedy for Adrian Shelford, because that's his third sin binning of the season. And if that stands when the disciplinary committee meet next Thursday, then Shelford will miss the big Wembley final. Well, look at him, absolutely forlorn, completely crestfallen. Well, what a tragedy for Shelford. Warrington have the penalty, and indeed they get 10 yards closer. Just see this again in slow motion. The ball played, Crompton and Gregory perhaps just changing direction. Shelford anxious to get the tackle in, and just a little high. Well, Shelford will be a very, very lonely man in that dressing room. 10 minutes to reflect on the fact that he may miss that Wembley final against Halifax. Well, my goodness. There always seems to be some story in Wembley week of some heartbreak for a player involved in the Challenge Cup final. Wigan, I'm sure, thought they'd had more than their fair share when Steve Hampson broke his right arm. John Woods puts the penalty over. And now it looks as though they could have Adrian Shelford missing as well. Well, on the day, it's 6 points to 4. Woods' penalty shortening the arrears. And Wigan prepared to kick off, a man short. Well, certainly that sin binning is going to have its effect, because the Wigan players will all know the situation as well, and I should imagine they'll be just as gutted as Shelford himself. Gregory kicks off, Grubber kick forward. Here's Gregory, the other Gregory that is, Mike Gregory. Gary Sanderson, well done. John Woods. Woods moving dangerously forward. Eventually brought down, but takes the play into the Wigan half. Another 6 tackles for Warrington. Roberts looking for someone to pass to, couldn't quite get the ball away. Gregory. Warrington again, anxious to move the ball as quickly as possible. Neil Harmon's pass just over the shoulder of Joe Rapati. Crompton. Played well, Martin Crompton. Been working the run around once or twice with John Woods. certainly had a busy afternoon. Good kick into touch there by Woods, and the pressure now back on Wigan. So a moment of tension for Wigan. What could do with winning this ball, which indeed they have done. Gregory was in behind the scrum. Joe Party brings the player down, and the touch judge is on the field. So Gregory stood by the referee, told to go away. It's McGinty. Brought forward to explain his actions, or rather have his actions explained to him. And a penalty for Wigan. Brain case. Good way. There's Gregory, gets the ball out to Byrne, back inside to Hanley, Hanley outside again to Gill, and Gill just couldn't quite hold that ball. Well, another devastating burst of speed there from Wigan. Doesn't bring them the try, but they're still on the attack, Byrne. So Warrington now with some tackling to do. Gill to Gregory, moves it wide. Edwards out to Hanley. Here's Lydon, a long pass. That's Forster, and Forster's breaking free, and Forster's going to go all the way. He's got Mark Preston and Joe Lydon in chase, but no one's going to catch him. The left arm is raised, and there is the first try of the afternoon. Well, Mark Forster won the £1,000 Whitbread sprint competition last season, and there you can see why. Absolutely no chance of stopping it. This winger that Wigan have got, Mark Preston, some tales come out about his pace, but no way could he stop Forster there. Just to see it again, the pass, I think, from Lydon, trying to whip it over Forster's head. Indeed it is. Thank you, he says, and leaves the rest to those very, very quick legs of his. Away he goes, left arm raised, and try. So he'll be absolutely delighted with that one. 70 yards and no Woods to add the 2 points. Indeed he does. And so Warrington into the lead. Approaching half-time as well. And Wigan will be hoping to strike back as quickly as possible. Warrington hoping to build on that lead. Here they come again. Paddy Peters. And Crompton again, breaking. Tackle just inside the Wigan half. Well, Warrington certainly got their tails up now. Seen that they can break this Wigan defence down. And they want to do it again. But as Roberts goes through the play, pulled back for a forward pass. Well, the pace of Mark Forster there was absolutely devastating. Good hard pitch. Dean Bell. Again, Warrington caught offside on the far touchline. A good kick into touch by Andy Gregory. So Wigan now, professional team they are, as soon as they go behind, start putting the pressure on the opposition. Case shrugs off one. Moving along the line, Edwards trying to go himself, darting forward, but like Gregory's there to make sure he doesn't get very far. Hanley, little dummy. Still going, gets it out to Byrne. Gregory, dummies, cuts inside, flicks it out. Oh, almost saw another interception there. Wigan living dangerously, but here's Henderson Gill. Good way. Holding the ball up in the tackle, looking to get it out. Quite successful. Edwards went around this time with Gregory. Another long ball, and Preston under tremendous pressure. Well, we've seen three very dangerous passes in succession out on that left wing. One has produced a try, two could so very easily have produced tries. So Wigan perhaps a little too anxious to move it out wide. Ball won by Warrington. Lyon coming into the line. Barry Peters just grabbed by the ankle. Lyon again. McGinty. So Warrington just happy to run up the tackles. Time ticking away towards half-time. In fact, Wigan with one possession. Mickey Kiss, something of a ball-stealing expert, comes up with it. And Warrington say, anything you can do, I can do better. And it's Kiss's opposite number, Mark Roskell, who steals it this time. Gregory tries to get it inside, and Kiss back. Gregory moving dangerously towards the left, looking for support. Good way, comes inside, good way, driving forward. And there, in fact, goes the half-time hooter. And Warrington lead 10 points to 6. Their points coming 3 goals from John Woods. That try of devastating quality from Mark Forster. 70 yards he sprinted after an interception from a Joe Lydon pass. Wigan's points, 3 goals. 2 from Andy Gregory, 1 from Henderson Gill. So the players on for the second half. Still this game very much in the balance. Warrington lead 10 points to 6. That margin certainly very close. John Woods prepares to get the second half underway. 3 goals in the first half, John Woods. Away we go. So a long kick finds Joe Lydon. Gregory. Tackled by his namesake, Mike Gregory. Case.
Dean Bell. Out to Ellery Hanley. Here's Jed Byrne. Wigan breaking on the right. Henderson Gill cuts back inside. Looking for some way through. He's still going. And eventually, a tricky winger put down. Shelford. Still probably shell-shocked from that first half. Sin Binning. Lydon. Kick forward. Doesn't quite reach touch though. Here's Joe Rapati. Last game for Warrington this. Joe Rapati flies back to Manly on Sunday, the day after the Challenge Cup final. So he'll be hoping to go with a bang. Warrington again trying to move the ball clear. John Woods. Big kick forward. Doesn't make touch though. Here's Henderson Gill. Gill evades one tackler, puts it inside. Good way, stopped. So Wigan certainly putting Wembley out of their minds completely this afternoon. They have, of course, named a full-strength side, and they haven't been frightened to play physical rugby league when required as well. Gregory, a little upset about something there, but it's a scrum down. David Cronton comes out with it, moving towards the left. Party. Gregory run around with Woods. Outside to Roberts, who gets it away. Back to Cronton. Cullen. Wrapped up well by Dean Bell and Ellery Hanley. And a penalty as well for offside, I think. So Warrington had the chance to make good ground. And his trusty boot puts it into touch. So now Warrington on the move forward. Forster, score of that try in the first half. Woods. Well picked up by David Lyon. Well tackled by Sean Edwards as well. Gregory moving towards that gap, he gets it away, and that is going to be a try for Warrington. Well, marvellous start for them, just 4 minutes into this second half, right underneath the sticks. Well, it was Mike Gregory's little pass out that opened up the way. Here we see it again. John Woods throwing the ball out wide, David Lyon doing well to pick up. The move stopped there. But here comes Gregory. Flicks it outside. And Mark Roskell goes in for the touchdown. And John Woods adds the 2 points, and so now Warrington extend that lead to 16 points to 6. So Wigan with it all to do. Certainly the start to the second half they didn't want. They really needed to get back at Warrington as quickly as possible, but it's the other way around. Here's Forster. Gregory. Had a good game today, Mike Gregory. Tackled solidly. Made that try as well. Roberts. Again, John Woods putting that killer kick to touch in. Preston gets back though. So Preston's first chance of a real break almost gets through the Woods tackle. Edwards darting forward. Just 21 years old, Sean Edwards. And yet next week he leads this Wigan side out at Wembley. Another long pass, that's to Jed Byrne. Jed Byrne breaking forward, he's got Ellery Hanley with him. Gill outside, Gill going for the line. He's still going, he's got to go all the way surely, inside. Edwards kicks on. Well, somehow Edwards failed to touch down there. Henderson Gill tackled by McGinty in the right corner. He turned the ball inside. Edwards just chipped it over the line, but somehow he dived over the ball and Warrington breathe again. Well, that surely was a chance that Wigan needed to score. They haven't had many chances against this tackling from Warrington. They needed to take that one with both arms. Not to be though. And it's Warrington back with possession. Mark Roberts seems to be in a little bit of trouble. John Woods chips forward. Bounces just right though for Edwards. Flicks it back for Lydon. Lydon no. Shelford. Potter goes forward. Pulls up in his tracks because it's another penalty against Warrington. Gregory certainly taken over the kicking duties this afternoon. Kicking both for goal. And now we saw him kicking for touch, little tap. Here's Brian Case. Hanley puts it back to Lydon, to Bell. Referee says that tackle was around his chest. Edwards can chip forward, Shelford puts it away. And again, Warrington living so dangerously and coming away with the ball. But a good tackle from Gregory puts Forster in touch. Well, a try-saving tackle that one. It may have been on the halfway line, but Forster in full flight again. And little Andy Gregory coming across. So Wigan twice been pressing towards that Warrington line, coming so close to scoring. Just failing to get the ball over the line and touching down. Here's Potter. Very underestimated player, Ian Potter. One of the best tacklers in the game. Solid grafter, week after week. Ball knocked forward. Pretty sloppy Wigan handling, and so it'll be another scrum down. Crompton to feed. Only 17. Martin Crompton, by the way. Certainly a name for the future. Gregory. McGinty. John Woods tries on his own. This time Crompton goes on his own. He's found the little gap. Defence coming across. As Peters outside him. But the ball put to ground and another scrum down. So 11 minutes gone in this second half. Warrington lead 16-6. It's Warrington in possession. Gregory acting halfback, looking to get his troops moving again. Here's Rapati, inside ball. Gregory this time going alone, still shoots it out. Warrington looking dangerous again. Keeping it moving, Crompton lays it out to Gregory. Gregory's going for the line, he chips it across to Joe Rapati and just gets his fingertips to it, but no more. And surely if he'd caught that one, if the pass had been a little lower, it would have been a try. So this time, Warrington's turn to miss the chance. And they're still in a good position. And they have possession again. Here's Crompton and a penalty. To Wigan. Well, wouldn't be surprised if Mr. Whitfield wakes up with sore arms tomorrow morning. Certainly used them a lot this afternoon to indicate the penalties. It's a good way he crashes forward. Joe Rapati rolls on the floor, has a word with Andy Goodway, and the referee penalises him, taking Warrington back another 10 yards. Rapati not happy though. Nicky Kiss, in his testimonial this year, popular player with the Wigan fans, great servant for the Central Park club, Wigan. Here's Edwards. Dean Bell, that's the kind of ball he likes to run onto. And another penalty for Wigan. This time Joe Lydon takes over the kicking duties, placing Andy Gregory and Henderson Gill. Sean Wayne supplying the sand. And over it goes. So Wigan claw back a little. Lydon's penalty bringing them to 16 points to 8. Gregory lets it go. Here's Lydon. Shelford. space. Just get away to Shelford, doesn't come off though, and that's offside. Paul Cullen can count himself a little unlucky there. Ball bouncing off John Woods, and Cullen instinctively picking it up, but in an offside position. And play stopped as Wigan make 2 substitutions. Brian Case and Joe Lydon leave the field. Ian Lucas and Sean Wayne come on. So a substitution that Wigan hope will change the pattern of this game. Certainly need a little spark of magic at the moment to break down this Warrington defence. Stands at 16 points to 8 at the moment, and Gregory bursting forward again. He gets the ball away from the tackle. Crompton jinking and jibing. And there comes Nicky Kiss with the ball again. Not content with winning balls in the scrum, he wins ball in open play as well. Good way. Edwards. Edwards again. Gregory slots it forward. Rapati chases, but in vain. Good kick from Andy Gregory, and that puts the pressure back on the Warrington line. Just about 10 yards from that line, scrum down. It'll be Warrington's put in, but Wigan desperately hoping that they can win possession from this. The referee seems to be lost between those 6 forwards, 12 forwards rather. Dangerous position to be in. He's got himself out though. Make sure all is well. Ball goes in. Crompton tackled almost on his own line. Here's Gregory again. Non-stop work this afternoon. Well, that could have been dangerous. Loose ball in front of the Warrington sticks, but thankfully for them, they recover. And the touch judge on the field. Referee calling over Andy Gregory. Perhaps involved in an off-the-ball incident, and well, Mr. Whitfield seems to be reaching for the yellow card again, but it stayed in his pocket. And it'll be penalties for Warrington. "20 minutes gone. Warrington 16, Wigan 8. Warrington with the ball, moving it away to the middle of the park. Gregory. Sanderson trying to wriggle out of the tackle. John Woods takes it on the blind. David Lyons, trusty boots, again putting the ball to touch. Ian Lucas and Sean Wayne, the two Wigan players who've come on, definitely playing for a Wembley place. They were giving their all in the last few minutes, but it's Warrington who have possession. David Lyon breaks free. Is this going to be try number 3? It is indeed. Well, good work from John Woods and David Lyon, the man to finish off the move. Stalking clear of the Wigan cover and in under the posts again. Now, is that going to be the killer try? As you can see, 19 minutes left to play. Warrington lead 20 points to 8 with a conversion to come. Here it is again. Lyon coming into the lineup. John Woods just jinks inside, back to David Lyon. Lyon shrugs off a half tackle, and there's no one else to stop him going under the sticks. So if Woods can add the goal, which indeed he can, Warrington take a commanding 22 points to 8 lead. So Wigan in all sorts of desperate trouble now. We haven't seen them at their best this afternoon. They need to pull out all the stops now to have any hope of making it into the second round of the Premiership. Forster. It's Gregory. Harmon. Sean Edwards pushed away by Mark Roskell. Wants to get on the game quickly. Well, again, desperate measures there from Warrington. A pass that shouldn't have been thrown out. And Wigan pay, hopefully, full dividends. Moving across, here's Gregory. Long ball out, he's got Ellery Hanley. Jed Byrne. Away stop, though. Henderson Gill went backwards. Gregory. Sean Wayne. Wigan rather losing their way at the moment. Suffocated by the Warrington tacklers. Gregory again. Edwards. What can he make of this? And Warrington again caught offside. Well, Andrew Gregory comes forward. Isn't the biggest of players, but certainly full of passion for the game. So Wigan decide to run it. Edwards, Shelford. Well, Shelford at half pace, not coming from deep enough. Just a little too tricky even for Sean Edwards. Edwards cuts inside. Back to Potter. Sweeping away towards the right again. Ellery Hanley going for the line. It's going to be a score. Yes, it is. Ellery Hanley goes in at the corner. Well, that was a Hanley special. 15 to 20 yards out. See it again. Edwards takes the ball, sees Hanley coming into position, and once he gets it, electrifying pace away from the mark, away from the defence, and in at the corner. One more time. There he is, Ellery Hanley. Well, the number of tries he's scored from that position reads the game to perfection. Always knows where the gap is likely to appear and puts himself in the right place. And now Henderson Gill hoping to put the conversion over, but not to be. So 22 points to 12, and this could be the glimmer of a Wigan comeback. There are 15 minutes left, certainly enough time. 2 more Wigan tries. and they could yet sneak a victory. Certainly be nice for the Wigan supporters. Send them off to Wembley in the right frame of mind. But Warrington, well, they've got other thoughts on their mind. Here's Jed Byrne. Move to fullback since the departure of Joe Lydon. Shelford. Gregory, little chip forward. He's being chased. Here's Andy Goodway. Goodway looking for support. Edwards. He kicks it forward again. Mark Preston chases, but it's too far. Shoots away into touch. And even the sprint king, Mark Preston, can't reach that one. But it's Wigan who are putting the pressure on. It's about 5 yards, 10 yards away from the Warrington line. And they have a penalty as well, so what can we see now? We've seen a try from Ellery Hanley just a few moments ago. Can Wigan improve on that? Shelford. Lucas trying to forge his way forward. Out to Edwards, back inside to Dean Bell, cuts inside. Stopped right in front of the sticks, 10 yards out. Still the pressure on. Gregory, sweeping pass out to Goodway. Holds it up in the tackle, Edwards. Gill juggles, and Warrington rescue the situation for themselves. And Barry Peters, in doing that, seems to have injured himself, and again the touch judge onto the field for something he saw. Well, again, that yellow card is out of Mr. Whitfield's pocket. It's gone back in again. There's a word with Sean Wayne. Gives a penalty to Warrington. Well, Mr. Whitfield certainly using the card as a handy prop this afternoon, as a warning to the players that he's not going to take any nonsense. And it looks as though a stretcher is needed. Quick tap taken by Roskell. This has been a very hard physical game, but both teams still pushing ever forward. Warrington with a 10-point advantage, but it's very much in the balance if Wigan can score again. But that's a good kick from John Woods, just what Warrington needed. Sends those Wigan forwards trundling back towards their own line. And as that happens, substitution made. John Thursfield coming on, Billy McGinty, the player helped off the field. We saw him laid out at the other end of the field just a few moments ago. Will take no further part in this match. Wigan, Edwards. Goodway moving from acting halfback. Makes good ground. Wayne to Bell. Back to Edwards. Gregory shows the ball as though he's going to kick. And then as though he's going to pass, which indeed he does. And Shelford rather bravely drops on that one. Hanley. Lucas. Sixth tackle. The ball upfield, Dean Bell under that well, but then the pass sloppy, and here's Mike Gregory again. Good play from Dean Bell, but then rather gave it all away with a pass aimed at no one. Here's Crompton. Mark Roberts finding no way through. Gregory gets it away to Roskell. Woods on again. Forster breaking. Tackled well, just a few yards short. The sixth tackle though. Wigan under pressure. Warrington, one last option. The drop goal attempt. It comes off the bar. And Ian Potter, I think, in position to snub out any danger. But Goodway loses it. The ball knocked on once too often and scrum down. Gregory tries to release it again, desperation creeping into Wigan's play. They know they need to score, but they give the ball away on their own 25. John Woods going for the gap, just tackled by Sean Edwards. And Paul Cullen lying on the floor. I think he took a trip off the ball from Andy Goodway. He looks as though he took a lot more. The referee not impressed though. Saw the incident and realises that Cullen's injury can't be all that bad. Penalty it is though. Play stopped for a moment while John Woods uses the opportunity to take a little bit of treatment, and on a hot day a nice cool drink from the bottle. So Woods kicking at goal, 22 points to 12 at the moment. If he puts this one over, it'll be of course 24 points to 12. And that would leave Wigan needing to score 2 tries and 2 goals to draw. Woods takes no time. Accurate. And so Warrington 24-12 in the lead. 4 minutes left. And surely Wigan's chances out of the window. Need 3 scores in 4 minutes. That perhaps asking just a little too much. Gregory kicks off. They'll certainly try their best though. And Warrington will do their utmost to keep them out. Gregory coming through, hoping to put the player on the ground. It doesn't matter because Wigan are back in possession. Dean Bell throws it away. Edwards moving on the right. Again, he's stopped though. It's Warrington tackling, preventing Sean Edwards all afternoon from creating any real openings. Dean Bell comes through the middle. Otter. And another penalty. It's time for talking. Well, as Mike Gregory comes out, he's been sin-bin once. The yellow card is produced to him again. I think the referee is telling him you've had this once. Any more and it'll be off for good. Kiss. Lucas. One of the Wigan players who played for Great Britain Colts just a few weeks ago. Here's Ellery Hanley. Hanley pushes himself away from the tackle. And the penalty again. So Wigan, Barry Peters, impeding Hanley in the tackle. Gregory, quick tap. Adrian Shelford bursting forward. Well, that's more like the Adrian Shelford of old, coming through full power. Wigan on the attack, Lucas. But Warrington doing well at the moment. Keep putting those tackles in, keep thwarting Wigan's attacks. Gregory. He's got Hanley outside him, but the pass coming off his chest. Rapati will make sure that the ball goes dead. Moving forward again. Those seconds ticking away. And with the time goes Wigan's chances of making a recovery. Gregory. Edwards darting forward, still trying to create something. Gregory puts it out to Wayne. Wayne moving forward. Edwards, and he's thrown the pass straight to a Warrington player. Barry Peters in a position that Edwards thought a Wigan player was, and accepts that one very gratefully indeed. So Warrington content just to keep possession. They know this game is theirs now. Won't want to do anything stupid. Thursfield. Shelford coming through quickly. Mickey Kiss rather. And a bit too quickly at that. Here's Forster. Just going through the motions at the moment. Warrington just trying to move the ball as far up the field as possible. And Wigan now surely resigned to defeat. John Woods chips forward. It's going to be chased by Mark Roberts. The referee spotting straight away he was offside. And penalties for Wigan. Edwards takes it quickly. Away to Gregory. Gregory out again. Preston now hauled to the ground. And there goes the final hooter. And so Warrington into the second round of the Premiership trophy. They celebrate, and well they might do as well. They've beaten Wigan, the team that finished third in the league. And that is no mean feat, especially at Central Park. Scorers, the tries for Warrington. The first, Mark Forster, that blistering 70-yard touchdown. The second from Mark Roskell. The third from Dave Lyon. 6 goals for John Woods. Wigan's points, 2 goals for Andy Gregory, a goal for Henderson Gill and Joe Lydon each. And that try midway towards the late stages of the second half by Ellery Hanley. So Warrington win this match 24 points to 12. Your commentator this afternoon, Dave Woods.